Welcome everyone to our call. It is Testimonial Tuesday. First, I have to read the medical disclaimer. So the information provided is for educational purposes. It is not intended as medical advice or a substitute for medical advice of a physician or other qualified healthcare professional. We do not aim to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any illness or disease. And you should always consult with a doctor or other healthcare professional for medical advice or information about diagnosis and treatment. And the information in this presentation has not been evaluated by the FDA or any other medical body. Not only do I have to give the medical disclaimer, but now we have to give a testimonial disclaimer. So, because it's Testimonial Tuesday, and the testimonials given reflect real life experiences and opinions of users. However, the experiences are personal to those particular users and may not necessarily be representative of all the users of our products. So we do not claim, and you should not assume that all users will have the same experiences, and your individual results may vary. So the views and the opinions contained in the testimonials belong solely to the individual users and do not reflect Root Brand's views or opinions. And the users are not paid or otherwise compensated for their testimonials. And again, the testimonials are not intended, nor should they be construed as claims that our products can be used to diagnose, treat, mitigate, cure, prevent, or otherwise be used for any disease or medical condition. And no testimonial has been clinically proven or evaluated. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Dr. Dori Narbo, and I am your host on today's call. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm a clinical researcher and an author of several books. So welcome to our Testimonial Tuesday call with Clayton Thomas, founder of Root. And Clayton has over 25 years of experience in the health and wellness industry. And for the past 16 years, he's been focused on detoxification and supplementation formulations with a simple philosophy, cure the cause. Hello, Clayton, and welcome to our call.
Happy Tuesday. I don't sound as good today because we had a long Easter weekend and I'm full of sinus infection stuff. So it's clean out Tuesday.
Oh, wow. So you've been drinking bottles of Clean Slate.
Clean Slate and some new sachets of tasty goodness and a little Pure. So
just going to go ahead and we're going to get started because we only have two testimonials today, but they're going to be, well, you'll see. I don't want to spoil anything. So Yvonne has fibromyalgia, and would you say that you're starting with the MS because you have the lesions?
Yes, correct.
The neurologist said that you had like 10 lesions, right, on your brain. So you actually started with the Clean Slate, basically just 2 drops a day. And you actually, when we talked, you actually had results within 4 days, right? So
yes.
Why don't you go ahead and tell your story and, just start from the beginning, because you have such an interesting story to tell, not just for yourself, but your kids as well.
Yes. My boys are both are twins, and they're both autistic, one more severe than the other. And they're 14 now, and I have a daughter of 8 years old with severe ADHD and eczema, very bad eczema. And my symptoms pretty much started after I had the cesarean 14 years ago in 2006, when I had a very bad hospital infection after the cesarean of my boys. And they were born at 32 weeks. And it just went downhill from there, pretty much. I was in the hospital for about 5 weeks, not conscious of the first 2 weeks, because I was in such a bad condition that there were 7 virologists around my bed, and they told my parents, well, don't expect her to make it. They really didn't know what to do. And so it was pretty bad. the boys, they eventually made a cocktail of the worst, the strongest three antibiotics there are in the world. And that finally got me to react on it, and got me a little bit better. And I wasn't able to hold my twin boys with support under my arms in a wheelchair after almost 3 weeks. So that was very intense. And I had a blood clot after I came home, so I had to go back to the hospital, spend another week there. So total hospital time was 6 weeks. And my boys were not doing well. They were puking the whole time after every feeding. And they didn't know why that was. So it was very difficult period. For me, it took about 2.5 years to rehabilitate after that. My children were not responding to anything. We kept doing all the vaccinations as they were told, as you are, a first mom, and you don't know any better. And you go through everything that the doctors tell you to do to make sure that your kids are healthy and safe. And so it's they've had through the breastfeeding, they've had the antibiotics, they've had the RS virus shots every month. They've had all the immunizations, and one was given a little bit more. They calculated the weight wrong. And so after that, I just noticed that there was no reaction from them anymore. It was just like a dead eye look. And so I kept asking the pediatricians, like, could it be autism? What is going on? No, they're just born early and they just need to catch up with time. But that wasn't the case. I found out when they were 2.5, they were both autistic. And so it was very difficult for me with all my pains. I got asthma. I got hay fever. I got numerous things that would come and go, just the weirdest things. And I absolutely had no strength. And it was very difficult for me to handle the boys because I was always in pain and always exhausted. And so we were in the United States at the time. We moved in 2009 to back home to Holland. And that's where we found out that the boys were autistic. And it was very difficult to work a full-time job for me, trying to build up, everything new in my country again. After leaving everything behind. And my father died during that period too. And it was just very difficult. So all in all, I don't know, I'm maybe skipping a lot of things, but 2019, things got worse. I started falling down the stairs a lot, dropping things out of my hands. Walking was getting difficult, and I didn't know what was going on. So I got referred to a neurologist. I had an MRI done, and they told me that I had 10 lesions in my brain and probably an early start of MS. And that at the moment they couldn't do anything about it. So I just had to deal with it pretty much. And after I started, I was being introduced to clean slates. And after that, it just went amazing. I mean, I got, the first day I tried, I had some more, I had a funny feeling in my head, like it was cotton balls. And the second day I felt a little bit agitated, but very energized. The third day, I felt a very positive mindset. I felt very energized. And the fourth day, I woke up feeling absolutely nothing. And at first, I thought I was paralyzed because I was like, what is going on? I'm not tired. I was well rested. And I just, I started to move my limbs to see like, okay, no, I'm not paralyzed. So what is going on? My mind was just totally blown because I had no more pain. I felt awesome. I felt very good. I just could not imagine anymore what it'd be like not to feel pain. And I've been feeling like this ever since. And I started my kids on the clean slate as well. And with my son, Logan, he started talking more. So he made very big steps. Let me get a drink of this. His eyes are radiate. His eyes are shining. And excuse me. He's reading out loud. He's saying words. He's even talking in English. And my daughter is almost gone without the eczema that she had after 8 years of severe eczema. And not only that, she's getting more calm. And she's overall, they're better. My other son is more focused, more concentrated. We gave the clean slate to the dog who had stare in his eyes. The stare is pretty much gone now because I took pictures before and after.
Oh, fantastic.
And we have since we have an export business in birds of prey, we have a sick falcon. And we're also giving her the clean slate, and her aspergillosis is pretty much gone. So next week we'll go to a veterinarian. We're going to have x-rays done as proof to see if she's better. And I can't say anything else. I mean, my mom is using it. My neighbor's using it. My cousins are using it now. They're all like, holy crap, what you have, I want too. And they're all having the same stories. So it's pretty amazing, and it just feels so good to share with everybody and getting a feedback about how wonderful this problem is and how it's helping them in their lives to feel better, no more pain. So it's been an amazing journey this last month. It really has been.
Wow, that's amazing. And one of the things when we had spoken earlier, you had mentioned that, when you were living in the States, you were actually a flight attendant for KLM at the time, right?
Yes, I've been a flight attendant for 10 years. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, and then after you were flight attendant, you got pregnant with your twins, and you had your babies in the States. And then when you moved, so, and also the injection that you were talking about was the MMR vaccine, the measles, mumps, and rubella.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, and then you also mentioned something that I thought was really interesting, because like when you started watching all the other videos, you started kind of piecing everything together, right? And
yes.
And you also mentioned that in Holland, where you grew up, you were between these two rivers. And
yes.
And you had mentioned that a lot of people in that area were quite sick.
Yes, I noticed that there's a lot of people that are sick there, like cancer, fibromyalgia symptoms. And when I pieced all the pieces of the puzzles back, for me, at least, it was with how the boys reacted to the clean slate, was because my other son, Joshua, kept telling me he felt like a lump in his throat that would not go away. And so I told him to drink more water, which is very important because the toxins have to leave your body. But because he was always puking and they couldn't swallow the food, they couldn't chew the food. Joshua started chewing food when he was 5 years old. Logan started chewing food when he was 9 years old. And when he was 9, he said his first word when he was when he was petting an owl. That was his first word, was petting, not mom or dad or grandma or something like that. No, it was petting.
Okay.
And that's how we kind of expanded in the owls and doing the owl therapy at the moment for children with determination. My husband is a falconer, so we know what we're doing. But it's for me, it's all logic what happens, because if they feel something in the throat, my daughter had a problem with the esophagus, that it doesn't close the muscle. And so when she's eating, she literally gets filled up to her nose because it won't go down and stay down. So a lot of acid reflux problems, so that is all disappearing now. It's going a lot better. She's eating faster. She's eating more.
Wow.
Her eczema is getting better.
So
Yeah.
the kids are actually able to hold the food down now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really interesting. And the other thing you mentioned too was that you had your boys tested, genetic testing for autism. Was that correct?
Yes, correct. Yes, at the hospital. They told me they're not autistic. So it just hit me when I was talking to you that was said. And I was like, we never got wrapped our heads around it, because they were clearly diagnosed and having all the symptoms of being autistic.
Right, being on the spectrum. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and in a severe way. But it's called ASS, like the classical autism, what they have. Mm-hmm. And so I thought it was really interesting, because that could only mean one thing, that everything has been caused by vaccines and heavy metals and toxins.
What do you think or feel is the greatest impact that the clean slate has had on your life?
On my life, I would say definitely no more pain, more energy, positive mindsets, and I just flourish when I see my kids grow and do better and well, and that is just the greatest gift a mom can ever have, I guess. So there's no price tag that can even come close to not have this anymore. Mm-hmm. And I think as we go along, we can expect really great things still, because we're only on this for a month.
Yeah, that's what's really amazing, is that it's only, I don't even think it's been a month, actually. It hasn't actually been 30 days, right?
No, actually, we started March 8th.
Right, exactly. And
I can tell my skin is glowing. My skin is getting different. It's getting more, it's glowing. It's more beautiful. I can't explain it, but
you were actually getting compliments about that from people that you know. And yes. I can hear that your coughing is actually better from the last time I spoke to you.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. But it's because probably, it's the detox working. It's getting all the phlegm and the mucus out, all the crap. I've had days where I just, had to go to the toilet a lot. Then that stopped, and then the coughing started, and then that'll probably stop. So I think it's just working through my body. And for me, having asthma and hay fever, and now we're having, except for the snow we had today, really weird, but everything is in bloom. And that is just when I start in the very early symptoms of spring with my hay fever, and I haven't had to take a pill. I stopped taking my pills. It's not needed anymore.
That's something new. That's great. Wow. Well, thank you so much. It's amazing. Thank you. And where's Mr. Clayton?
It's not even a month yet. Can you, with your journey that you've had so far, I would assume this is not the first thing you've tried for yourself and for your kids.
No, absolutely not. No, I've tried it all. Trust me. And that is why I was skeptical at first too when I got introduced to this. So I told the people who were on the call with me, I'm like, okay, we'll see what it brings, because we're the perfect testing family. I mean, if it doesn't work, then for any of us, then, you know, but this has really, truly been beyond my expectations.
Yeah. So it's not even a month yet. So it's, well, what do you, with everything that you've done in the past, can you even compare your experience for the last not even 30 days with your journey prior?
No, I can't compare this with anything. There's nothing like this on the market to come even close to what it does to your body. And that really kind of, I mean, you know, there's pollution, there's, you know, pesticides and stuff, and you try to wash them off, but you can't because it's a little greasy layer that you can never, even with detergent, because I tried, can wash off. So you're consuming it. And it just blew my mind in the effect of how much it really is over time that keeps stacking on in our bodies and what it does to us. What I've learned so far, because I've read some things about it, and I've seen some videos on YouTube which are very educational. It was then that what happened with me, and then I started to piece back everything that's been happening to where it was just mind grabbing. It just blows my mind how bad everything is that we have in our body, and what it does when it all gets detoxed.
Yeah. Properly and safely.
Yes.
And so my last question for you, as a mom who's been through a little bit of a journey, who has 2 kids that were, I'll say, forced into the spectrum, for moms that are like you or have been through or are currently enduring what you've been through, would you recommend this as an option, maybe as an alternative to many things that have been done? What would you say to a parent? I won't just say a mom, but a mom or a dad who has a child or children that have been in the same situation, and with what you've seen so far and what you've experienced, it's only been a month. What would you say to them?
I would say absolutely go for it. Go get the clean slate yesterday. I feel the company is not that old yet. It's you started in 2020, and yet I feel I've already lost a year somehow, because I found out just now. And if I'd known, like, even 10 years ago, I would have jumped on it, because I was in an absolutely horrible situation back then, that we could not even leave the house to go anywhere. And I've punched through all the barriers, and I've gotten them very far, but still the autism part remains. And now that I can see that my son is finally able to speak and tell me what he wants, he feels a lot happier, because he's not frustrated anymore. There's no more screaming, and the screaming goes on for hours sometimes. So it is not only for him and for the rest of the family a lot better, but it is such a big value for him. It's incredible. And I can't wait to find out, because after, 120 days or so, our body regenerates, where he will be at that time. And they're practicing all kinds of stuff with him. Even in school, they notice that he's changing. Last week, or the week before, he went to visit grandma, and when he got there, he said, "Grandma, I love you." And my mom just started crying. I mean, it's he's never said anything like that. So it's just amazing. And I can really recommend, I mean, there's no guarantees. There's never any guarantees, but I can really recommend for parents to try this and just see what is happening to their own child. It's, completely 100% natural. So you got nothing to lose. It's not going to get any worse. It's only going to get better.
One final quick question, quick answer. How many drops are you using? How many drops have they used or are they using now?
We're on the kids are on to 4 drops twice a day, and I'm on to 5 drops twice a day.
So you're titrating up, and she is not even on the zero.
She didn't try 0 in yet. Oh boy.
I'm on the 0 in. Yes, we're all the kids are getting half a capsule.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Yes, and I'm taking and the adults are on 1 capsule a day, and the kids are on half a capsule a day. So yes, we're on that, but I can't wait for Restore. I absolutely cannot wait.
And that's going to be a game changer, that one.
It's going to be fun. Yvonne, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.